Hi guys and welcome to the Warhammer Lady. So it's time for the very last part of the HQs of the Chaos Daemons Codex. And these guys are neither greater demons nor heralds, so they have a very special video. Let's get started. Yes, the Demon Prince is now an HQ. I find this really awesome because I've always wondered, lore-wise, why Demon Princes could lead demons into battle, but they could never be more than heavy support. They changed it. I think it's good. The Demon Prince has, of course, become more expensive now that he's an HQ. He's gone up by 65 points. His stat line has changed. He's now better. He's gained +2 in weapon skill, +1 in strength, +3 in initiative, and an extra attack. He's lost 1 in leadership, but then again, most of the demons have. So, before we begin, you have to know that when you choose a Demon Prince, you also have to upgrade him to be a specific type of demon, so a demon of Khorne, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, or Nurgle. Otherwise, he won't be legal. And if you choose any kind of demon except for Khorne, then he can also be upgraded to a Psyker. And he then generates his powers from Biomancy, Telepathy, and Telekinesis. Yes, he can also be upgraded to a Psyker level 1, 2, or 3. And he will also be able to generate his psychic powers from the specific discipline associated with his demon type. So if he's a demon of Tzeentch, then he will know the discipline of change. You can also, of course, give him wings still. It's still expensive, but yes, he can fly. And he can have an armor that gives him a 3+ armor save instead of his ordinary 5+ invulnerable save. You can also give him 50 points of demonic rewards, lesser, greater, or exalted. Also, very important to note before I forget, you can still have your Demon Prince as heavy support, as long as you have a greater demon of the same affiliation. So for example, if you play Fate Weaver, and you take your Demon Prince and you make him a demon of Tzeentch, then he will be demoted to heavy support. If you still want him to be HQ, just make sure you give him a different mark than the greater demon. Okay. The blue scribes have gone down by 49 points. They have also gained +1 in weapon skill and toughness, but lost 1 in ballistic skill, initiative, attacks, and 3 in leadership. They have a Hellforged artifact called Scroll of Sorcery, and this allows for you to, at the start of each friendly turn, choose a psychic discipline from the 40k rulebook and roll a d6. That result is the power that you get. You cannot swap it for the Primaris power, so the 0 results. And this psychic power automatically happens. You don't have to roll for it for a psychic test, and you don't have to spend a warp charge. It can be denied with a Deny the Witch, but blue scribes do not count as psychers, so for any special rule that will target psychers, it does not apply. Okay? This could potentially be awesome. If you get a really nice blessing, it will just happen. If it's a shooting attack, since they only have ballistic skill 3, but it could be good, could be worthless, it's very random. They also have a special rule called Spell Siphon, and at each time an enemy psyker successfully manifests a psychic power, you put a token next to your blue scribes. And then in your turn, you roll a d6 for each token next to the blue scribes. On a 6, a friendly psyker, one friendly psyker, within 12 inches of the blue scribes gain a warp charge. For me, this seems kind of useless. So far in 6th edition, I have only been up against opponents with a maximum of 1 psyker, and they're usually only master level 1. That means 1 psychic power per turn, if it manifests. That will give me 1 d6 roll, and if I'm lucky, I will get an extra warp charge if my psyker is close by. In my army, I don't see any use for the blue scribes at all. If you do though, I would love to know. Maybe you go up against opponents with lots of psychers. So please, let me know what you think about the blue scribes. For me, no, I don't like them very much. The mask is no longer a herald. I was actually surprised because I bought her, I thought she was a herald, and I'm guessing they just went with 2 of each god, more or less. Anywho, she's an ordinary HQ, she's gone down by 25 points, and she's gained an upgrade to her stats. She has +2 in weapon skill and ballistic skill, +1 in strength, and 1 extra attack. She's lost 2 in leadership, but again, most of the demons have lost it in some way. She has the hit and run special rule, also a special rule called unnatural reflexes. And this means that she rerolls all her fail and vulnerable saves. Pretty good. She's also the Eternal Dancer of Slanesh. Thus she has a special rule called the Eternal Dance. So at the start of each of the controlling player's shooting phase, she chooses a dance, 1 out of 3, to perform. And this ability, well, one of these abilities, they target an enemy unit within 12 inches that is in line of sight. The first dance is called Dance of Caging. So until the start of the mask's next shooting phase, the target unit suffers -5 to their weapon skill, minimum of 1, and they can only move, run, charge, and fall back d3 inches. Dance of Death. The unit suffers a number of strength 1 hits with AP2 equal to the number of models in that unit. Also, it has the Ignores Cover special rule, and you allocate the wounds as you would a shooting attack. The last dance is called Dance of Dreaming. Until the start of the masked next shooting phase, the target unit loses -5 in ballistic skill, minimum of 1, and they cannot fire Overwatch. I can definitely see the mask in a unit of, say, 20 demonettes, because if you want, you could just run close to a shooter unit that your enemy has, and in his shooting phase, you could lower their ballistic skill to nothing, and in your turn, you could just, for example, run up to a close combat unit that is close by, and you could lower their weapon skill to be almost nothing. Or if you want to charge into a really nasty unit with lots of flamers, for example, then they can't fire Overwatch. I really like the mask. I think that she's a character with great potential. Anyhow, this concludes the codex for the Chaos Demons HQs, and stay tuned, because I'm now about to go through the troops for this codex. So bye bye.